A moment that felt like the beginning of something. The kind of moment you don't expect, but never forget. Every unforgettable story begins with a moment so small you almost miss it. Not a grand gesture. Not a dramatic confession. Not a scene written by a director. Just a spark. Quiet, fragile, but powerful enough to change everything. For Freen and Becky, fans remember that exact moment. A single exchange that didn't make noise. Didn't demand attention. Didn't try to be special. And yet it felt like two hearts recognizing each other. Not loudly. Not fully. But clearly enough that everyone watching knew. Something just started. The calm before something new. There was nothing unusual about the day it happened. A regular shooting break. A casual moment between scenes. The kind of behind-the-scenes moment that normally passes without a second thought. But then something shifted. Becky turned toward Freen with a softness she didn't usually show in front of cameras. A look filled with warmth, curiosity, and the kind of genuine affection that can't be rehearsed. It wasn't exaggerated. It wasn't planned. It wasn't for show. It was real, simple, pure. And then Freen felt it. The way her expression softened instantly, almost unconsciously. As if a wall she didn't even know she had suddenly lowered. She didn't smile because she had to. She smiled because she couldn't help it. That was the moment fans would replay for years. The shift you can't fake. Anyone can act. Anyone can follow a script. Anyone can pretend to have chemistry on screen. But there's a type of connection that slips through the cracks. A spark that appears when two people forget they're being watched. That's what made this moment stand out. Freen wasn't in character. Becky wasn't performing. There was no line to deliver, no camera angle to hit, no director saying action. Just two people sharing a look that lasted a heartbeat too long. Long enough to make fans feel like they were witnessing the birth of something delicate and new. A moment where Freen's whole face softened in a way only Becky could make happen. A moment where Becky's eyes lit up like she had just found her favorite place to rest. A moment that said more than words ever could. Why the fans felt it so strongly? Fans didn't fall in love with the moment because it was dramatic. They fell in love with it because it felt true. Because you can fake a smile. But you can't fake the kind of comfort that makes someone's shoulders relax. You can fake laughter. But you can't fake the way eyes soften when they land on a person who matters. You can fake banter. But not the instinctive urge to lean in, to listen, to be present. That's what this moment had. A raw, unfiltered energy that made people pause and say, that wasn't acting. That wasn't promotion. That was something else. And the fandom never forgot it. The tension that said everything. No words were spoken. No dramatic music played. No confession was made. Yet the silence between them carried more emotion than an entire script. The kind of silence where two people look at each other and understand something without needing to explain it. Freen's eyes softened. Becky's smile grew gentler. There was a breath, a tiny inhale, where the world seemed to pull back, leaving only them. It was intimate but not romantic. Comfortable but charged. Quiet but emotional. It was the kind of moment that makes people realize. This is where everything truly began. How that one moment changed everything after. After that moment, something in their dynamic shifted. Subtly but unquestionably. Their conversations became more natural. Their smiles toward each other became more genuine. Their touches became instinctive, not scripted. Their comfort grew. Effortlessly, beautifully. Freen started looking at Becky not as a co-star, but as someone she trusted without hesitation. Becky started reacting to Freen with a gentleness reserved only for people who touch your heart unexpectedly. And every moment after that felt like a continuation of the first spark. The way Freen would stand closer. The way Becky would unconsciously search for Freen in a room. The way their eyes would meet even when they weren't speaking. It was as if that one moment opened a door. And neither of them chose to close it again. The beginning of a story without a script. When fans look back now, they describe it as the spark, the shift, the silent confession, the beginning of something. Because sometimes the biggest changes in our lives start quietly. With a look, a smile, a shared breath. Freen and Becky didn't announce anything that day. But they didn't need to. Their connection spoke for them. And that moment, small, gentle, unforgettable, felt like the very beginning of a story neither of them expected. But both of them slowly grew into a story built on respect, trust, and a connection that still continues to grow.